All right, doing a quick follow-up, chasing this whole periscoping dream of teaching brave over the summer. So last scope that I threw down mentioned that just after getting on the longboard, decided to sort of, head home. And as I'm walking back to the truck, took a tumble on, it was really rainy up in these areas. So I took a tumble through a particularly kind of greasy patch of the asphalt. So what ended up happening, basically, my board went one way, I fell back, fell onto my side. The arm popped up, my left arm, you can actually see, I'll just give you a quick peek. All right. So my left arm went kind of straight up above my head, and figure I dislocated my shoulder. And then sort of in the motion afterwards, relocated my shoulder. And, that was a week ago. And then just yesterday I was thinking to myself, yeah, you know what? It's a little bit, it's painful, but it's different pain. So I went and checked it out, got some x-rays, found out that I actually fractured the top of the humerus. So for the next little while, this is my new normal. And it's got me thinking, well, it's one of those, a whole bunch of different things are happening. One, I start to get into that zone of like, what's going to happen now? Like, how am I going to be able to keep doing the longboarding, keep working on the longboarding? The second thing to this, though, were the other stuff attached to it. So then I started asking questions about, what about all the other fun stuff that I was hoping to do? Now, truth of it is, I don't have to get a cast. I can just wear this sling. What I wanted to start doing, though, is also I wanted to pick up the guitar again, and also do probably some rock climbing. So, like, my arm's not going above my head, and there's no way that'll be weight bearing anytime soon. So that was my first kind of, as I'm in the emerge, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to wear this thing. That was my first reaction. Second reaction, which kind of tempered the first, was looking around, and there were a bunch of other, there were little kids there that they actually had to get cast, and I could hear the doctor saying to the kids, saying to the parent, you know what, you're not doing anything for the summer. And that soccer team, well, you're not playing soccer, or the swimming, and I could hear the breath inhalation from the parents, like, but we got the cottage. So that kind of tempered my own personal reaction. I'm thinking, yeah, but like, this is just a sling. Like, I can pop it off and on, and I can kind of be around water. But definitely this whole process of taking positive risk and trying to do something new has made me pretty reflective. And a colleague of mine, Derek Rodenizer, put out a video from Tony Hawk, and Tony Hawk put together a horizontal loop. And if you haven't seen this video footage, it's pretty crazy, but basically he's got this idea that he actually doesn't know how to make happen exactly. So he gets a guy to build this ramp, and you just have to figure it's him going in a sideways corkscrew from the top of the half pipe to the bottom. And it shows all his iterations of trying to make it work. And it made me think about, the process of risk, and that process of, if somewhere in your brain you got an idea that you think you can make happen, and that iterative process of failure. And now, on one hand, you could sort of say, okay, but Tony Hawk, like, millionaire, successful skateboarder, of course he's good. You could look at this as purely a promotional video. And believe me, with my critical eye, I'm not naive. This very much could be just a promotional video. But on the other hand, if we look at it as an endeavor, and his pursuit of an idea, and his willingness to fail in order to get that, in this case, it's a game changer. It's a horizontal loop. That's going to end up part of the market. He has changed part of the landscape of skateboarding. And who knows? I mean, at X Games or other competitions, all of a sudden, you're going to see this kind of side dish to the half pipe, and some individuals willing to give it a shot. So now I'm in a position of trying to figure out, how do I stay connected to something that I really want to develop this summer? How do I stay connected to continuous learning, I guess, on the longboard? How do I start to even action playing the guitar? And I'm in this strange space of, will it be enough to watch videos? Do I every day take out the board and kind of put my feet on it? Do I just kind of use it as a balancing? Like, I'm in this place now of having to keep the destination on track and keep my learning positive, because the idealized version of this would be, every day since last week, me back out on the board, test driving the idea, figuring out my balance, figuring out my lines, getting to different, different areas to longboard on. It's kind of been taken out of the loop right now. So that's where I'm kind of at in this. It's just a quick update. I'm still working through this. I'm still going to figure out how to do the longboarding, and definitely I got to figure out how I'm going to work in the guitar now too, because like this, I guess I could may as well start working on slide guitar. I can lay it on the table and start doing chording like that. Anyways, I'll throw a few more posts down this summer as I work through this one. Questions that I'm left with, of course, because I got to get the teaching angle on this, is that, when we talk about failure in the classroom, and when we talk about our colleagues and our students, let's say, all the co-learners in our environments, when they don't make that thing work the first time, or when everything is on track and it somehow gets derailed, there's some really interesting sort of thought fuel you can go through as to, is this actually an indicator that I shouldn't move forward? So for instance, me falling after getting off my skateboard, it would be easy to say, well, that was all because of the skateboarding. But it wasn't. It was me not paying attention to the road. But it would be easy to fall into the sort of cataclysmic thinking of, well, of course that would happen, right? You're going to fall when you're on the skateboard. So the whole aspect of trying to move forward, then that's what I'm going to be working on for the rest of the summer. And I'll give you a big thanks. Thanks for checking in, and I'll talk to you later.